campsite, like I said, one day, and literally just going 2 hours and not even seeing a person. It was so incredible, and it was so. You joke about being a body high, but it really was. The whole fucking day, I just couldn't even. I was doing it, and I couldn't even believe it. I just kept saying, "This is awesome!" Like, oh my god, fucking walk down this.
Well,
little
I'm
trail.
glad you had some body highs and it changed your life and all that. But I really prefer the stories when he ends up fucking a fat chick or losing his wallet or his phone. You know what I mean? No offense.
I understand.
I'm glad you changed your life and all, but. Next time, come back with a I lost my wallet story at a gas station.
You know, people say this. I know I harp on this a lot. I've said this on this show before several times. I know Jay talks about the west side of this state.
West side?
Right.
West side.
People need to fucking... Like, if you are living in this state and you are not taking some advantage of the shit that we have here, like, shame. You want to talk about shame.
Shame.
Like, it is so fucking beautiful.
So
and
he is letting people know that up north is beautiful.
You know, though, I think people don't do it. And I think that some people don't take advantage of it.
I think a lot of them do.
Okay, go fuck yourself, dude. I don't know if you...
Change your life that much. Still telling me to go fuck myself. Real nice, E.
Well, if I wasn't on the trails, I wouldn't be dealing with this.
Hey, everybody, check out the DetroitCast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. Page includes businesses owned by listeners. Take a look. It'd be great to support the supporters of the show. Today's featured listings include... DRKM Strategies. They specialize in helping independent small businesses grow by using proven internet marketing methods. They entice new customers to find you online, and listener Craig over there is awesome. He helps us out a lot, so check them out. Also, check out PC Solutions. They are Michigan's premier managed IT service provider. They are experts in their field, so you can be an expert in yours. Mention TDC for a free site evaluation, and our boy Aaron over there is excellent as well.
Yeah. Hey, don't make any sudden head moments. Don't look. But do you notice there's a fucking dude sitting over there to your right?
There's a fourth guy in the room.
There's been a dude sitting here the whole time.
Oh,
Don't look. Lindell. Stop looking. He's going to notice. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
Dr. Ryan Fiorini joins us. Before we went on, he's like, one request. Yeah. Don't call me doctor.
Please. You should never have said anything.
Yeah, you would have been way better off not even mentioning that.
Yeah.
Ryan Fiorini, thanks for coming in, man. If you're a longtime listener, you might recognize this name. This is the gentleman who we've discussed at various times is pushing us to do the Kickstarter early on.
When I thought about it, Jay, it's very arguable that without that phone call that we took with Ryan, this show is long gone.
That is very probable.
I mean, we made a shitload of money from that Kickstarter that kept us afloat. And, of course, we treated that meeting like true professionals, if you remember. We sat in Larry's office. We're like, yeah, we got to have this meeting with some guy. And we spent the entire time shooting rubber band guns at each other the whole time on speakerphone.
Ryan's trying to keep us on agenda.
Yeah. It's nice to know.
He's got a whole list of things he's going through. We're like, yeah, whatever, dude. Fuck you, man. Shooting Jay shooting. God damn it. I hit my cheek. That hurt.
Yeah, Ryan has quite a past in business development, and he was a resource for us early on in terms of how to get this thing started. So for that, we'll ever be thankful to you. But what you're here for today is a really cool business you're involved in right now. Tell us about that, Ryan.
Yeah, so about a year ago, started a company called BlinkTBI.
Traumatic brain injury.
Traumatic brain injury, exactly. And so what the technology does, it's a medical device, and it puffs a little bit of air on the corner of your eyes, and it feels nothing like the glaucoma test. It's almost on your temple. And
so it's even more tame than the glaucoma test.
Very.
Everybody knows that. You go to the optometrist, and you're like, okay, this thing's going to puff in my eye. It's going to puff in my eye. It's going to, bam, and it scares the shit out of you. You jump back.
Yeah.
Really? See, I've never had that.
Oh, wow.
It's bad.
Test. Is it?
It's bad.
Painful? Or just freaks you out a little bit?
It's just a freaking out. It's not painful, right?
It's kind of painful.
Is it?
Yeah. I think so. Okay. I don't like that one at all. But
are you a pussy, Ryan?
Yeah.
That is not painful,
It's just
man.
a shock. It's just the shock and keeping your reflex of keeping your eyes open, right?
Yeah,
it's not it's not painful.
It's more the shock to me. But okay, I'm sure for some people it probably is.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Your point is this is not that.
This is not that. I think that was the point.
This looks like a virtual reality goggles.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like.
So what's inside here are two high-speed cameras. that are capturing about over 20 seconds, about 11,000 pictures of your eyes. So millisecond changes. And the CO2 cartridge will cause you to blink. It'll basically scare you. It's going to cause you to blink. And the rate at which your blink
per puff
happens, exactly.
Yeah.
There's 5 parameters. It's, how big your eyes are, how wide you have them, the time it takes to blink.
So basically this is for, there's so much discussion about concussions in the NFL. And players don't want to come off the field. Coaches don't want the players coming off the field. So they've got third-party doctors that are supposed to have no connection to the NFL or a team. And they're finding ways to fake those tests. And they want to, because these guys are animals. And they want to get back in the field. You're saying this test here that they do will help people determine when a guy's been hurt, had a concussion.
Yeah.
Correct?
So the studies we've done, we just finished a clinical trial at 2 colleges, 2 high schools, and 2 professional hockey teams. And we were able to identify all of the concussions. So it puffs that air 5 times in the corner of your left or right eye randomly, and randomly through that 20 seconds. You will blink, it analyzes it, and then it takes maybe 15 seconds to look through those 11,000 pictures.
Wow.
And it tracks your upper eyelid all the way through. And
Wow.
so at the end, it says you match your baseline or you don't. And
So every player has a baseline at the beginning of the season.
yeah, every player has to have, as of right now, we have to have baselines. So this is perfect for sports, military. The Department of Defense has really been very interested in it. What it's not right for yet is first responders.
Okay.
Because you have to have that.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy, man. So the idea of a guy takes a serious hit on the field, goes to the sideline, then you see him walk him into the back, and they're gone for 20 minutes. You're saying this device in 15, 20 seconds can tell you,
Yep.
this guy's able to go back onto the field right now, or he's not.
So yes. So one story I was told last week was for a soccer team. If a player comes off, they can't go. If you substitute a player, they can't go back in. And so
What do you mean?
Dude, please tell me you know something about the game, Mike. This is a game you
sub
played.
a player out and then
No, you can't, man.
This isn't like a starting pitcher coming off for a relief pitcher.
It in fact is. You're out of the game once
For
you
good?
sub. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I
God.
remember that.
So-
I don't
I'm
watch the game.
glad
I don't
Ryan
like the game.
does.
I don't like the
well,
game.
I just learned it. So what ends up happening is they end up playing a player down for 5-10 minutes until they figure out if the guy has a concussion or not. So to be able to do it in 20-30 seconds is huge to them.
Yeah.
So they were really excited about it. We wanted to have it ready to go for World Cup and that sort of thing. And just with building it and the FDA and things like that, it just wasn't possible. But it'll be ready in the fall.
This
Yeah.
is a serious product we're looking at here. And how long has this taken to get to this point?
That's kind of the amazing part. So I bought the technology, the patents, last July. And what I bought with the patents, is about a 120-pound machine that has the concept in here. So the concept of watching your eyelids.
Now, why would someone sell that to you?
So it was
I mean, this is something that is so critical. I mean, did they not know what it was going to do, or did you see something they didn't?
Yeah, so it was invented at a university.
Okay.
And they just don't have the resources. You've got a professor who's teaching, doesn't want to leave their job, doesn't know anything about business. They get a cut of, so we license it from them for a fee, and then everything we make, they take a percentage of. And so it's good for them too, because they can't move.
They can't market it.
No, they
Make it a
can't move
product.
50, 100 products forward, and so they license them out to big pharma. But this, they wanted a smaller company, and so I jumped on this, and then I went. We raised a bunch of money last summer, and then just from like private investors, and then hired some amazing software engineers. the mechanical engineers to fit everything from a 120-pound machine down to 4 pounds and a handheld. The industrial engineers to make it look pretty.
Yeah.
So
the neuroscience part of it, that was done and completed. You bought that, and it was a matter of then mechanically engineering it down to something that can be on the sideline, easily held in the hand, not this cumbersome big box that you're leaning over and stuff.
Exactly. Although the old machine was a little different. The old machine had 1 camera, and we've got 2. The old machine had less light. We have more. So, and the software was built again from the bottom up. Okay. So we had to retest all of it and make sure everything was still accurate.
Gotcha.
And nothing had changed.
Well, the key here too is you can't cheat it, right?
You can't cheat it at all, and
because it's based on reflexes and just your eyelid responding to this puff. And
so the best way that I've found for just laymen to understand is, as a kid, you go to the doctor and they'd hit your knee, and your knee, the reflex would go. So that's meant to test your spinal cord. Your blink reflex.
It was your knee.
Yeah, I too. That's what I thought. I hated that thing, by the way. It always felt weird.
Well, that knee works. He's not even going to try the other one. He doesn't even know.
Yeah. Who knew it was about our spinal cord?
Wow. I'll be damned.
No idea.
What else don't we know, Ryan?
Well,
probably a lot
I'll tell
we
you.
don't know about.
Yeah, let me tell you. So the blink reflex would be something touching your eyelash, and you blink to keep something from going into your eye.
Yeah.
And that checks your brain stem, more or less. And
I thought it checked your eyelid.
Me too.
Yeah, but I thought it was all about your eyelid.
I'll be damned.
Who knew it was about my brain stem? God, there's a lot I don't know about.
What else don't we know, Ryan?
Boy, I don't even know how to continue on that one.
No, so to Jay's point, there are other people that have been trying to do this type of thing, and players are smart, and they figured out a way to cheat it. And you guys, one of your big selling points is you can't cheat it. It's about natural reflexes. It's inadvertent, so it's not something where they're answering questions a certain way. And I don't know how players were cheating, and maybe you could explain that.
Yeah, so the way they were cheating is all of the tests that are out there, you have to have a baseline.
Yeah.
And so what?
Oh, they'd skew the baseline. Those sons of bitches.
Wait.
Yeah.
So before a season starts, guys come in and they would go, "What's your name?"
Well, no.
Chewbacca.
Most of them are like, so one example is there's a balance board. And so you're on this.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Exactly. And you basically just, act like you're drunk. Then if you have an awful concussion, you don't need any test. Yeah. But it's for the guys who are just sort of concussed.
Got their bell rung.
There's 2 minutes left in the Super Bowl, and now they compare it, and it looks like it looks like his baseline.
So his baseline, he just doesn't walk the line perfect. He just kind of, and he's doing that on purpose, going, if I get my bell rung down the road and I walk a little bit wobbly, it's going to line up with the baseline I did preseason.
That's right.
Wow. And so that's a huge selling point for you guys then, that you can't cheat it.
You can't cheat it.
If the guy got cracked in the head and he's out of whack, we'll know.
Yep. There's absolutely no way to cheat it. If you were able to walk in, your legs were able to move and you were able to walk in, it'll work. You have a blink reflex.
Really?
And so what the other thing we're looking at and starting some tests this summer is sobriety. So my understanding is that Canada approved marijuana for...
I was going to say, it's marijuana, right? That's the big one that people have to crack because there is no breathalyzer for that.
Exactly. So this now becomes essentially a breathalyzer. And it doesn't tell you what the drug is, but it tells you...
It doesn't care what the drug is.
Doesn't care. Your reflex...
So you're a narc now.
Is not right.
Holy
Basically
shit.
a narc. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This changes everything.
God damn it. I like the fact that I could get away with being high somewhere and be like, well, it's not on my breath. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No mouthwash anymore.
Yeah, it's not going to suck on a penny. It's not going to work anymore. So how does it feel to be on the verge of becoming a billionaire person? Like, is that something that excites you, or...
Must feel good.
Did you
Must be a
look
good
forward to
feeling.
that? I mean,
Yeah.
what's the first toy we're going to buy?
You're trying to get a a donation, aren't you?
Well, yeah. Well,
PayPal donation?
Obviously, you're
Yeah.
going to buy the Detroit Cast and fund that
Right.
for eternity. All we
Right.
need is $1 million a year each, but that's nothing to a billionaire.
I'm not giving him $1 million.
Okay, no, well, no, we'll keep you at his current salary. He's
Okay.
happy. He's fine.
He's an independent contractor. He gets no salary.
That's
This
right.
is true.
No, honestly, dude, a product like this, you can just see the potential. That's why I make a joke like that, because you're talking about all the major sports. Now, I didn't even think about law enforcement. I mean, the potential is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we look at, and then all the data that goes with it. So now imagine you've got colleges. You take one college, you've got 100 football players. You've got then all the other teams. And so now you've got this huge database because all the data in here immediately is sent to the cloud so that they can then go in and look at a player and say, okay, he's getting better. And that's one of the biggest things for this is returning to play.
So you can monitor him through the week. Like, don't
Absolutely.
they usually do it like a couple days before the game, and then you hear, oh, yeah, he still can't go.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
Because it
seems
takes
all right.
45, some of them take 45 minutes to do the test.
Yeah.
So imagine if you were an athletic trainer for a football team and you got to do baselines, 45-minute baselines on 100 players.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus, quick, do the math really quick. You're the brain.
How many minutes is that?
The answer is a lot of minutes.
Right.
And
You should have known that, E.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. A lot?
A lot to quite a lot.
Right.
so you just can't do it.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes what they'll do is they'll only do the ones that play often.
Yeah.
And you just can't do it any other way. And so this 20 seconds, we can do a team while they're getting their physicals done, their preseason physicals. We can get them done in a minute each. It takes them longer to sit down and put their eyes up to it, and they're done. And so
So are you getting support from the major leagues? Like I think NHL and NFL probably are most likely to be, those are the guys that are taking the big hits. Are they supportive? Because what we've seen over the years is the NFL especially has really, when CTE was a big story, they
Double-edged
just-
sword, right?
It is. They
You know?
want their stars on the field. It's
Yeah.
like if Tom Brady gets his bell rung in a postseason game, it's like,
And interestingly,
Fuck,
too,
get him in
Tom
there.
Brady wants to be in that game,
yeah.
maybe to his own detriment. It's
Right.
it's this weird thing, man.
So are they like, get this Ryan guy the fuck out of here? We don't need some guy that can diagnose in 10 seconds whether a guy needs to come out of the game. We'd rather have guys cheating the system because that's almost the way they kind of felt. I don't, you might be talking to them and don't want to disparage them, but, that was kind of the attitude they had for a long time. And, a lot of money on the line.
that's what I expected. I expected owners and the players associations to go,
Yeah.
not a chance. And the players association, I thought more was their excuse would be, it's not proven yet. And what if you were wrong, a false positive, and you pulled my player out?
Because these are black marks on these guys
Absolutely.
forevermore. Because
Yeah.
you always look back and you go, okay, Lindros had 6 concussions or whatever that were
8
recorded. It's like,
concussions.
all right, you're on number whatever. You're no longer worth this when your next contract comes up. So
Same thing when a guy blows out his knee really bad, and it's like,
yeah,
he had
they
that
should
horrible knee
absolutely
injury.
be concerned about that.
Yeah.
So how do you answer that question, Ryan?
So so this device, we wouldn't ever suggest that it's used for sole diagnosis. So I guess to say I was really pleasantly surprised that the Players Association, NFL Players Association, the NHL, they are so behind protecting their players.
Yeah.
The NBA, they don't have a lot of concussions, but they're on the forefront of they want the newest, best technology, and they're really behind their players. And they're saying, look, if you show us the data that it's accurate, then we want to protect our players.
How sure are you that you can say this is accurate? We know what's going on, and this is accurate.
So our clinical trials, we've done thousands of people, and it is accurate. The problem we have is, let's say somebody comes out and they're just not exactly right, and the athletics trainer says, yeah, but he's just an asshole. He's fine, and the machine says he's not. Who's right? There's no gold standard.
Well, hopefully the machine is, because humans are going to say whatever they're going to say.
But you tell a neurologist that he's wrong.
Yeah.
Good luck, and you're gonna get there's no way you're teach him that. And so that's the problem that we have. And so what we had to do is we had to start with the obvious concussions, the dude puking and literally walking to the wrong huddle.
You can see birds flying around his head.
Exactly.
Birds come down.
Yeah. So we start with those. That was 100%, and then we started moving down.
But see, I don't need a machine to tell me that. Like, I could go, yeah, that guy's fucked. He's got a concussion for sure.
Absolutely.
And no one's going to pay me $1 billion for me going, yeah, that guy's wobbly as shit. He needs to come. I can see the birds.
But that provided you a baseline of data because you were able to say, look, 100% of the time we were right on those.
Exactly.
So it gives you some credibility moving outside of those.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll never use this for the guy puking. There's no need, except for return to play. So, how long does the player need to be out? Every day they're out. I mean, you think a guy like Brady who's making whatever it is, $25 million a year, 16 games.
Do the math.
Quick, $25 million a year divided by 16.
100 and whatever.
It's a lot to quite a lot.
It's 100 and whatever. It's 100 and whatever million.
Yeah.
Got it.
Huh.
Yeah. So
that's why he's here.
You need that guy in the field, and so. I'm always amazed when you see a guy and it's like, yeah, he got rung up there and he's not wobbly puke guy, but he comes off the field and he's kind of shaking his head a little bit and you go, he looks like, and 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, he would have shaken that off on the sideline and been back on the field.
Yeah.
And then you hear 6 days later, he still hasn't passed the protocol and you're like, what the hell's going on? It's been 6 days. The guy didn't look that bad on the sideline. Like, what are they failing in those tests? What is going on in their head that they're not able to get back on the field a week later?
So there's a couple of things they look for. They ask the patient. They say, do you have headaches? Are you dizzy? Are you basically just not feeling well? Do you feel like you have a mild flu type thing?
Feel fine, coach. Feel fine, coach.
And that happens. I will say the players are, I think because of all the CTE data, they're really starting to.
Culture's changing.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I know at 18, 19, when I played hockey, there's no way I would have said I was hurt.
Yeah.
And I'd have played with broken bones. And
you were a good hockey player.
Yeah, I was a
College
decent hockey player.
Semi-pro player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know I had concussions.
You had a glaucoma test, hurts his eyes.
Yes.
I think I got a concussion.
How does that square?
It's hard when it's like super tough hockey guy and then pussy can't handle the glaucoma test. I know it's hard to square, but that's for another discussion. I feel like I got one concussion in my life. You remember, Jay, we were playing up at Harrison football, like touch football or something even. And
Merck clouded.
And I got to the sideline and tried to do a little shimmy. And Merck is a good athlete,
freaking cannonball.
Financial guy. I mean, dude, he fucking, this asshole dropped his shoulder and literally picked me up by the back of the fucking legs and just pounded me into the ground. My head hits the ground and
you were concussed.
For a week, it was like, that's all that was going through my head was headaches, and you just felt not drunk, but just like a quarter step off. It was like you turn your head, and then it would just take an extra blink of an eye to get everything clear.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. And so one of the things, so there's two ways to look at this device. If the player needs more time, and you don't know that, the player says, I'm fine, and they pass. Some other tests are that they'll take these writing tests. There's probably the biggest competitor we have is a little smaller looking goggle headset type thing. And there's a ball that you follow, and it's the same test that they're looking for as a police officer with a pen. Follow my pen. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for the shaking, the saccadic eye movement, shaking of the eye. But you can cheat it. And
how do we cheat that? Because I want to know. Because I've had cops do that to me with the pen.
Yeah. No. What?
Anticipate. He's going that way.
He's going right.
Get there. Get there.
Go right. Beat him there. Beat him to the spot.
I'm not putting that on here, but
we're right, aren't we? We're right.
That's how you do
beat
it.
Him to the spot.
It's anticipation.
Yeah.
You got to see where he's going and beat him there. I like that. Okay, thank you, Ryan.
Probably going.
We've learned a lot today. You've helped our audience learn how to beat drunk driving tests. So
that's what I'm here for,
folks. No, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
I I don't even remember what I was saying now.
Yeah, we cut you off.
After that,
You know about your competitor with the blue ball, and then why you were different.
The shaky of the
yeah.
eyes. The shaking eyes is what they're looking for.
Yeah,
Which I didn't even realize was a thing, to be honest with you.
yeah, and you can cheat it. You can't control the shaking of the eye, but if you don't follow the ball, for example, when you're taking your baseline test, you're gonna look different than when you take the real test.
Boy, it's all about that baseline.
Isn't that hilarious
Yeah.
how much these guys have figured out ways to cheat the system just to stay in? That's crazy.
So you mentioned, I think, a hockey team that you're involved with. What are some other teams that you're in with currently?
So our trial was with the Washington Capitals.
Oh, just them?
They're two minor league teams. So they're American Hockey League team up in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and they're East Coast Hockey League. So it's like Double A down in Charleston, South Carolina, which is where we're based. And so we were with them. We were with two colleges. One is the Citadel in Charleston. Another one was up in Charlotte.
So you're based out of South Carolina, which is why it's easier for you to get into the Charleston area, South Carolina.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're in Charleston, so it helps to do them around there. Hershey made sense because it was getting us up to the NHL.
Yeah. Do you expect to be in the NFL, NHL, like those leagues? Because I know some of the guys on your board. I mean, Steve Smith is on your board, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
16-year veteran, Super Bowl champ, I believe, multi-time all-pro.
One of my favorite receivers ever. Just tough.
He's no Ray Caruth, but he's good. He's very good. He had a very sound career.
I mean, he made a Ray Caruth.
Yeah.
And a great guy.
Is he?
Ray Caruth or Steve Smith?
Steve Smith.
Yeah, for the record.
Yeah, for the record.
And he's a little badass, man.
He's a good dude.
You think he probably had a ton of concussions?
So we asked him that, and he said he had one.
Yeah.
And he said it was a bad one.
Guy, and he's not afraid to go over the middle. I mean, he was a tough son of a bitch out there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, did he have more? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't tell now.
Jesus, look up Bing his stats, because this reference to Steve Smith as a little guy is somewhat bothering me, but I don't want to call you out right now.
I believe he's not a big dude.
I don't want to call
Steve
you
Smith
out.
is a little
I
guy.
think he's maybe 6'1".
no.
Yeah.
No?
He's shorter than me.
Is he?
Yeah. I'm almost 6'1".
right.
He's
Let's
definitely
see what
shorter
he's
than
listed
me.
as.
Tough dude, man. I bet he's 5'10".
Is this him? It
5'11",
looks like,
maybe. Yeah, that's him.
okay. Yeah, I think it was
Steve
5'9", it said.
Yeah.
He is a
CJ,
little
Liz-
dude.
Boom. 5'9",
5'9".
195.
He's 1.75 meters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is that what you were
195.
thinking?
A wisp.
Don't overuse wisp.
Don't
Jay got mad at me.
overuse. That is not a wisp, okay? Look at the arms on that guy. It's not a wisp.
He's even bigger now.
Let me ask you this, though, Ryan. What is the point to having a Steve Smith? Is it name recognition? Is it the fact that he was in the NFL? I mean, obviously, he's not conducting tests for you.
Yeah.
Like, what is the benefit to having a Steve Smith?
That's it. It's name recognition.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, he's he's passionate about it. There's certain players out there that, not him, but some other players that feel like they left the NFL because of concussions, and they would have
Steve
played
Young.
longer.
I think Steve Young was one of those.
Yeah.
I think he denies that now, but he took that hit from, was it Aeneas Williams against the Cardinals?
Well, yeah, and one of the most vocal about it is Brett Favre. He's
Yeah.
very vocal about
Oh,
it.
the
get him.
guy from the Wrangler Jean commercial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
From
I
Wrangler.
know
You
that
should
guy.
get him on your board.
We're working with Brett Favre and
Wow.
and his foundation.
Favre, guy from
And-
Something About Mary.
Yeah, something about Mary. I
Something
saw him.
About
He's a
Mary.
great actor. Yeah.
There may or may not be a press release coming out very soon.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyone else of note? I mean, I heard rumor about Rick Carlisle being involved with you in some way.
Barry
Friend of
Alvarez.
yours. Maybe I've heard other names thrown around. Perhaps
Yeah.
Cuban.
Yeah.
Very.
Perhaps Condoleezza Rice. I mean, stop me whenever you want. I don't know. I don't want to be speaking out of
Condoleezza
school.
Rice.
I would kill to have her.
Yeah.
She wants to own a team.
I know.
Just tell her this is the first step.
I
I'm going to
would-
get you in the door.
Absolutely kill to have her. She's just so busy.
Did you
And
try to reach out to her?
We did, and we didn't get a no, but we definitely didn't get a yes.
So how does that happen? I'm assuming you don't, in your Rolodex, have Condoleezza Rice's number.
No.
So how do you even go about that?
you're gonna call me an asshole when I tell
No,
you that.
I'm great. That's fine.
All right, so I'm friends with Rick Carlisle, the former Piston coach, and now coaches for the Dallas Mavericks, which is owned by Cuban. And in that world, they have that black book, and it's like.
So you ask the most famous person you know if they know somebody.
See, mine is Jay, and so we just don't get it.
Yeah, I know. I go, Mike, do you? And he goes, like, no, do you? And I go, no, I don't.
Mark Ridley, but
we go around and around in circles.
You got D-Mac.
Yeah, D-Mac's good. D-Mac's good.
Yeah.
But he's not going to give us anything.
D-Mac is who you should have a rep for the NHL side of this.
Dude,
yeah.
Kidding me? Over 500 NHL fights.
Over 500 NHL concussions. Oh, no, he didn't.
No. You can consider that done. I mean, we will definitely do that.
We know people that know him. We could get you in touch.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely. That would be awesome.
So how are you an asshole with Condoleezza Rice? So Rick Carlisle, what do you call Rick and go, hey, man.
Yeah. And
how does it go?
I asked Rick. We were in the car, and I asked Rick, and he said, Rick, huh? I don't know her, but.
We were in the car. I asked Rick, and he said, hey, Ryan, I don't know her. You going to do that one?
He did. And then he picked up his phone, and he called Mark Cuban.
Yeah. I'll give him this. Mark Cuban is a guy like Trump was years ago. Like, there were times on the Drew and Mike show where we just called Mark Cuban and went, we need to talk to Mark Cuban, and he would answer his fucking phone. Yeah. Like, he's an accessible, I don't know if he still is. 15 years ago, you could call Mark Cuban, and he was huge. I mean, he was a billionaire, owned the Mavericks, and you could reach him.
Yeah.
So,
he's a great guy. Really, that whole organization is just amazing. I mean, I grew up in this area, in Detroit area, but and Pistons fans in the 80s, late 80s, bad boys, but
2004. I don't know.
Definitely have become a.
So what is Mark Cuban?
Where'd he come from?
Yeah, I know. He just chimes in to make fun of people every once in a while. Ignore him. So he put you in touch with Mark Cuban. What do you call Mark then?
We called Mark together and got hence the "you're an asshole."
No, you're not.
Comments.
What up, dude?
I see the eyes.
No, I swear to God, I think it's great if you use the context you have.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we do it all the time.
Now
here.
we know we have a contact from Mark Cuban.
Absolutely,
it's perfect.
And so, what does Mark? You and Rick get on the phone with Mark Cuban, who's a busy guy, and then what? You're just like, hey, dude, you got Condoleezza Rice's number?
Yeah. And then their answer normally is, yeah, give me a minute, give me an hour. I think a lot of it is they talk between the agents. All the agents know each other.
Yeah.
And there's only so many agents. They represent most. Yeah. There's a handful of good agents that represent the good players, and they can reach anybody. And then like the parties that they go to. So a story that Rick told me was at.
Who's Rick again?
I'm not going to call him Mr. C.
Yeah,
right?
Good. Mr. I.
Mr. I.
You're right. You could just say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was at Tony Romo's.
If this was Robert De Niro and he was calling him Bob, we have we could slam him. But he's calling him Rick. Whatever.
Okay.
Richard.
Good. Yeah. He would be an RC are talking.
He was at Tony Romo's retirement party, and who's there but Laura Bush and George Bush.
Huh.
And they start talking, and the groups that they get into are just it's a different world.
Yeah, that Texas
it really
money,
is.
man.
Yeah,
Opens doors.
Celebrity money in general, the parties they go to and the connections, it's insane. Can we try this machine?
Yeah, can we have
Absolutely.
you do? I was going to suggest E, but he has zero brain activity.
You need brain activity for it to work, right?
And he's basically
that helps.
He's in a single game player of Pong in there, like beginner mode.
Well, I don't want to interrupt
what's going on in there.
Facebook, so
Yeah, good point.
and chewing.
And I have glasses on, so Jay, it looks like it's coming down to you. Do you want to try the thing?
Sure.
Yeah, you can't do glasses, but you can do contacts.
So we don't trust E to have brain activity? Is that the case?
I think that's where we're at.
Because what I'd like to do is have him have a baseline, then we can whack him.
Oh, can we do that? Can we run upstairs, grab a bat really quick, smack him across? Okay.
Did you bring a 2x4?
That's the best situation.
Dude,
actually.
I've got one. I've got a bat upstairs.
Yeah,
Aluminum
let's
or
do
wood.
the
I've
baseline
got
on
both.
E.
Or a hockey stick.
A signed one, maybe.
I do.
I see
I've got one of
signed ones here.
Shanahan's fiberglass sticks. I've got multiple bats. Right, we don't even have to leave the room.
But are they real?
Some of them are real. Yeah.
Do we know that?
No.
Well,
They're as real as his Nikki Six base.
Yeah. That's where I was going.
It's pretty real.
Yeah.
Swear to God. Go ahead. All right, Jay, why
who's
don't you
testing?
try it? Let's test it.
No?
Just
I don't. I'll do it.
It's not that bad. It's not that.
Take your glasses off.
Yeah, take your glasses off.
Glasses.
Yeah, you got to take your glasses off.
Should I sit down?
Oh, wow, this
You
is
don't
pretty
have to-
serious with the screen.
Yeah.
I
here.
don't want to sit here like this.
Yeah, no, sit down.
Make sure we can see you, E, on camera.
You can see.
Oh my God! Look at those beady eyes.
I don't like him, his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
Switch it to.
So here's what's going to happen, Jay, is we're going to see his eyes here.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Excellent, excellent.
Here's the other problem. It's
Lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
it's infrared, so
sweet.
it makes it all in black and white and
God.
lights them up. This
So
could
we're
be-
really gonna get a good look at those.
This-
Oh, look at those beady eyes,
It's
man.
incredible. It's incredible.
Good. You-
God damn!
It's
Here, you sit.
unbelievable.
Look at this.
I've never seen anything like it. They're like little fucking. They're like periods at the end of sentences.
As he's gained weight too, they've gotten smaller, right? Look at him.
All right. So
Oh my god! Oh my god! Shit. Ryan, if you back out of the way, I think the camera can pick.
Here, film this. So what do I? So it's going right now, or? Yeah. Oh, really?
you just look in there.
You can't see the eyes anymore. When he first put it on, dude, the eyes were there. It was hilarious.
Yeah, twice.
Does it hurt?
No.
That's not off-putting at all. Look at that.
Is it almost relaxing, the puff?
I don't know if I go that far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what it is.
What if it turns out that E is concussed like a motherfucker right now? Like,
How could
big
you wouldn't be able
time.
to tell, would you? Though you said because of no baseline. So.
All right, do me. E, switch the camera so you can do me.
Okay.
Well, now we gotta hope one of them gets hit in the head or kicked,
Well,
kicked in the head by a mule or something.
why haven't you grabbed the bat? I thought we were taking E's. We were gonna, thump his bean.
So we have zero, like, that's just him. That's just his unique, sort of like taking a fingerprint.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't tell us like he is indeed playing a single man game of Pong at beginner speed.
No.
Shit.
No.
Look at my eyes. Get your
Always been my
camera out
theory.
again,
It's always
Jay.
been my theory.
Well, yeah, it's probably true. Get your camera out though, because when you first put it on, you could see E's beady little eyes. It was hilarious. It looked like when someone wears like those googly glasses, and it's like it makes you all goofy-eyed. I think of Goodwill Hunting when him and his girl go to that store. That,
Yeah, like
you know,
the dollar store.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't look like you, Mike. Got one? Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Be strong, Mike.
Where's my third puff?
Be strong. But that's the thing. It's the anticipation that kills you, right?
Dude, they're all to the left eye. Oh, there's the right eye.
Ah, see?
I got puffed in the right
Threw
eye.
you a curveball.
Twice in the right eye. Yeah.
So how'd he do, Ryan?
Am I concussed? Am I
Does he have a baseline?
He has baseline now.
Which one of us has a better baseline, just at first
Oh, come
glance?
Oh, yeah.
Way better? Like, is someone... We don't need
How
to
can
name
you
names.
tell? What's the difference? What
But
are the numbers?
is one
Well,
person
I
like
don't
killing it
wanna
as far
get
as
into
baseline
it.
goes?
Oh, you don't want to
Pretty
get
technically.
The audience.
Neuroscience,
no one
you
wants
know.
to. Yeah. I mean, it's
The
just,
good doctor doesn't want to talk about it.
that's just being an asshole.
Oh, sorry, doctor.
Anyway, yeah. So, dude, this is really exciting, man.
Thank
This
you.
It honestly is. We've known you for a long time. You've been one of our biggest supporters. I don't know why the fuck a doctor with this kind of brain
No
and
idea.
technology
No
would even
idea.
listen to our show, but thank God he does.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably going to be the first billionaire we know. Safe to say?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I will make a donation if I hit $1 billion.
Excellent. Would you make a donation if you hit 100 million?
Yeah.
A smaller one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll
Fair
bring
enough.
you down to Charleston.
Private?
So,
Fly private or first
well,
class? Private.
you only fly private.
Yeah,
I thought.
Once you fly
or
private.
Spirit, right?
Spirit, right?
Well,
That's
E
all.
Spirit
will
or
fly
private.
Spirit. Jay and
Yeah.
I will require private. Not our own. We can ride together. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
That's what we're accustomed to.
We can do that.
if you want to be an NFL,
Dude,
favorite
here's my
listener.
advice: get in good with a South American soccer player and a European soccer player. Two big influencers on
Here we
that
go
stage.
again with soccer.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, that's your gateway to billions, dude.
You think so?
The world loves the game, Mike.
Yeah. Soccer is, well, it's because what I was saying is that they only have those couple seconds to test them.
And watch how many set pieces are scored on in this World Cup. If anybody's been watching it, they'll agree with me. Dude, everything's going in off heads.
Wait,
Yeah.
what's a set piece?
Like a stoppage in play, like a free kick,
Yeah.
corner kick, free
Got it.
kick. Yeah.
Here's the problem. every time some guy gets tapped on the shoulder and goes into a convulsions on the field, do we need to bring the machine out and test him for a concussion?
No, you bring the spray out for that.
Oh, the spray. Yeah, good point.
And the stretcher.
Yeah.
Dude, good luck with this. This is very exciting. Hopefully, I mean, is your goal to be like on NFL sidelines at some point, like this year, soon?
Yeah.
Do you see that as like 5 years down the road? Like,
So right now we're going for our FDA clearance so that we can sell this.
You need the FDA to tell you that you can puff air in people's eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
God damn it, man.
I know.
Yep.
Federal
And
Department of Agriculture, just a pain in the ass, man. Always a pain in the ass.
there are a number of like safeties on here that are kind of ridiculous. Like you can't open this door for the CO2 cartridge because
safety,
someone could turn it into a rocket supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I mean, it's to
What
try.
do you think? Someone on the sideline is going to go, ooh, I could make a rocket out of that and rip it out of there?
Yes.
So what do you need, a key or something to get it out?
It has to be empty. So once it's empty, then you hit a button and it pops
out.
open the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you basically just have to prove that you're not going to kill the person or blind them. And how you prove that, you know, they don't tell you. They just say yes or no, and if they say no, you go back.
But
And
you're supposing if they say no, it's because of the air delivery system, right? Has to be some safer mode than putting CO2 cartridges in there.
yeah, so the FDA clearance for a medical device that's not implanted is really short. It's like 90 days.
Okay.
Versus, you know, a drug or a pacemaker, you know, those are 5, 7, 9 years that you have to do. This is a
Right.
90-day type thing. So all we have to prove is it's safe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Efficacy, we have to show that it has some sort of efficacy. But
I don't know what
that,
efficacy means, but if any owners of the NFL are listening right now, I can tell you I didn't feel at all blinded or like even at risk of being
You felt
blinded.
safe
I
the
did.
whole time.
Yeah, I did.
when in a safe zone.
Well, dude, I hope to God nobody invents something that prevents concussions, because that'll be the only thing that could set you awry here. Otherwise, everything is going to go swimmingly for you, sir.
Yeah.
I wish you the best.
Thank
Very
you.
exciting. Don't forget about us, dude. A lot of people, once you hit that train to the high road up there, you're in rarefied air. Just remember the little people.
You got it.
Ryan, you're the best.
Thank you.
Good luck with BlinkTBI. People can go to BlinkTBI.com if they want to read up about it. And we'll be looking for a press release in the next few days. I hope that works out.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
guys.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick time. You want to do a read really quick, Jay, or we'll do it later? Okay. We'll take a quick time out, and we'll be back after that.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Oh, man. You want to do a read really quick, Jay? Knock one out?
Sure. Hey, look, listen. If you want the absolute best automotive experience possible, go see our friends at Zotford and Holly. Zotford has a massive selection of new and pre-owned vehicles ready for you to choose from. Their award-winning service department has brand new free loaners for you to enjoy while your vehicle is being serviced. Zotford has a fully stocked parts department and 2 state-of-the-art body shops. So, to Mike and Jay and Etard's point, Zotford has you covered. Plus, when Zot takes care of you, you are really taking care of the podcast. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, did you see, were you following the story of the kids trapped in the...
Yeah, the
caves?
The Thai cave dwellers.
Yeah. Dude, how did they get back there? How did they get so far in? Like, I'm looking at, like, the drawing layouts of... And it's like...
Dude, it's like what I said the other day. You know, like, we've all been in caves. We've all been in little cave tours. And
Sure.
you look down these expanses, you're like, fuck if I'm going down there.
Not a
you
chance.
Know?
Yeah.
It's
Where
like
you got to squeeze through
No
2
way,
rocks.
right?
You can't see 2 feet in front of you. Not a chance.
Yeah. You're like, okay, this is neat. It's cold in here. Stalactite, stalagmite. Got it.
Tight is top. Might.
It's got to hold on tight, Mike. Remember that.
That's right.
Yeah, but for these 13 people, 1 coach and 12 kids to go scurrying through these holes. And
Yeah. I know the parents are like writing now to the coach, like, it's not your fault. We don't blame you. Like, I guess he was really bummed out. They're not going to blame me for this. And, but yeah, all of a sudden.
the only adult there.
Yeah, you dragged them 3 miles into a cave or
11-year-olds.
so. Yeah.
But they have 4,
16.
at the time of taping, at least 4 out of the 12 kids are out, I think.
Yes. Yep. They got we lost 1 Navy SEAL, Thai Navy SEAL. Did you know the Thais had a SEAL department?
I was unaware of that before this story broke. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that. You don't think of the Taiwanese having a Navy SEAL department.
Nor the Thai.
Right. And so,
why do you want to make this story about the Taiwanese?
Well, it's the Thai.
You like to say Taiwanese.
I do like to say Taiwanese.
Yeah,
That's
now
really
you're
all it's
overusing
about.
the word Taiwanese.
Yeah.
First it's WISP, now it's Taiwanese.
Well, when I hear about the Mexican Marines, and I'm like, what? Mexicans have Marines?
No shit.
Get out of here.
I guess they got
Good
a lot of
for
water
them.
around them, you know?
Sure.
Why wouldn't they?
And then I hear about the Thai having a fucking SEAL team.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, all right, well, way to go, Thai. Way
Guaranteed
to
they were trained by us.
go. And one of them died.
Not trained well enough.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm reading this story, and then Elon Musk.
Dude, Elon gets involved via tweet.
Yeah.
Some Thai dude tweets at him and goes, hey, you know, I don't know if you've been watching this story, but if there's anything you can do to help with your boring company, you know, he's that company that's boring underneath
Los
LA, and I
Angeles.
think Chicago's about to get started too. And he's like, you know, I don't know if things are set up geologically to be able to handle the boring. However, we'll look into that. And in the meantime, have you thought about doing like a blow-up tunnel? You know, and displacing the water and making kind of this tunnel through to the kids and have air being blown through just as you would like a bounce house. Same technology
Wow.
behind a bounce house. And everybody's like, huh.
That guy's smart.
And he's like, and while you're thinking about that, I'm going to build a submarine.
A wisp of a submarine, and that counts as a wisp.
It is a wisp of a submarine.
It's a tiny wee sub.
That we can put the kid in, and then the divers can sort of pull it.
Yeah.
Through
Which
this
is crazy.
cabin.
He's like, I'm going to need about 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's like,
He
what?
gets his napkin and pen out and starts sketching it out.
It's
you
like
know?
he's using like the parts from the rocket they set up
Yes.
and was like, I'm going to make this tiny wisp of a submarine.
Yeah.
They can go in there, throw a kid in.
It's
and
evident through his tweets that he's giving this serious thought, and that he has
Yes.
teams of men,
There.
people who are giving this serious thought. It's interesting.
He had engineers and scientists flown there already and more on their way to help in any way they could. And then the Thai government was like, fuck it, we're going in and we're sending these SEALs in to get as many out as we can and
Well-
just do this in shifts before the weather shifts because it's about to be rain season.
They were able to get about a foot down of water level, so
Yeah.
that was enormously huge.
They were pumping water like 10,000 gallons a second out of those caves. But dude, they don't have real good maps. The Thai are apparently behind the 8 ball on map construction.
Is that right?
Yeah. But they've given us the best they can do. And I'm looking at these caves like they're
Great,
like, okay,
great food, by the way. But maps,
I love it.
They're
Maps,
lacking.
they struggle with maps. Don't even get me started on
The
topography.
drunken noodles.
You're not going to find topography on their globes. It's just it's shameful. But
Drunken noodles all day long. Maps.
spectacular drunken
not.
noodles, but maps. So it's just like these like cave drawings of like, okay, the kids are here, and
man.
here's out, and it's like they're just showing like through this. It looks like it's going through just like the middle of the earth.
Yeah,
and it gets
is.
really tight. Yeah, sort of is. It's kind of the whole definition of what's going on. And so it's just flooded. There's parts of it that you just can't breathe. And so they're like, they got a drawing of a little scuba guy and then a kid and then a scuba guy. And it's like, we're going to grab the kid and then scuba guy's going to bring him out. And then the other scuba guy's going to, in case he drops him.
Yeah, it
he
looks,
go, oh,
it looks good on Cave Wall.
Right.
But we'll
they
see how
said
it goes.
There are parts of this where the distance they will go with this kid, right? 11 football fields.
Yeah.
Going a distance of 11 football fields completely underwater, and you can't see a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You can't see an inch in front of you. And so think about 11 football fields. How far is that in yardage?
1,100 yards, I guess. I don't know.
I'll be damned. This son of a bitch.
He
Blind
cheated.
squirrel?
He cheated. Yeah, blind squirrel. But yeah, it's like the scuba and kid and scuba, and it's like going this, and they've got like a rope, and they just follow this rope all the way out. It's like, wow, this is insane. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Plus, they have to stop like halfway through, and someone has to send new air tanks in because they usurp all their air.
I thought it was a lunch break.
No, that's what I thought at first
Send in
too.
the drunken noodles.
Yeah. Can we get some drunken noodles down here? For Christ's sakes, with a tie. But yeah, no, they stop and they have to get, reloaded air tanks just to be able to breathe the rest of the way out. But
And then, in the meantime, Hollywood scriptwriters are furiously pecking away at their laptops.
well, they're hoping this goes till October.
they're
I mean,
hoping-
they want to drag this out.
They loved the casualty the other day. Seal dies, okay.
Yeah, it'd be
Add
nice if
some
it was
drama.
a U.S. Navy SEAL, like an actual real SEAL instead of a tie SEAL. But we'll take it. It's better
It'd be
than
nice
nothing.
If one or two kids.
One or two. Do you want the 11-year-olds or 16-year-olds? Probably the 11-year-olds, right?
Why? They have
'Cause
more
the
life in
16
front of them.
I know, but the 16-year-olds already, they're further down the road. The 11-year-old is sadder. You lose a couple 11-year-olds.
True.
Two 11s and a
Good
16.
point. They had such potential.
Yeah, yeah. They were just getting started. Great soccer players too.
Such potential.
I don't want the coach to die. He's got to get it. He's got to make it out and just be. He's got to stand at a podium and answer questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, we need him in the movie as a central role at a podium. I just feel like we do. But yeah, we'll be watching it. I don't know. They're saying like 4 days maybe to get the others out. And
Do you think the actors that played Short Round and Long Duck Dong are just kicking themselves for being born 40 years too soon?
of course they are.
You know?
Although those guys age well.
Like, God damn it! I'd love to play one of these little Thai kids.
Well, who's one of the? Is there a Thai like an up and comer that's on the scene right
Wait,
now?
I don't know that there is, Mike. I
can't
don't
name
know
one.
that there is.
E, do you know any good Thais? Oh, okay, hold on, Ryan. You got one?
So, I don't, but I have a question. So last night you said 4 days to get them out. Last night I heard that at 8 p.m. their time they were stopping bringing people out because it was dark.
What? Yeah, makes sense.
Am I the
Perfect
only
sense.
one that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we
That's-
just
it's
talked
the
about
Thai.
11 football fields full of darkness, but yeah,
Just absolute darkness.
That's
Yeah.
all I got.
Yeah.
good point.
But if there's any good, I mean, if there are some kids like making their way up, just getting an agent now,
Yeah.
falling into
Hey.
that 9 to 12, 13-year-old range, they've got to be just loving
Depending
the
on
story.
timing, maybe Eid, you get him in some early acting classes.
He's not Thai.
Well,
He's Chinese.
Americans don't know the difference.
Yeah.
As long as it's brown.
Brown. Is it brown that you're really looking for when you think of Asia?
I don't know.
Jesus.
hey everybody, you had an annual physical to make sure that you are healthy. What do you do each year to make sure that you remain financially fit? Well, our friend Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. So call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Jesus, did you see someone died at the forest?
I mean, someone
Electric
always,
forest?
but that's not, dude. We went through this last year. Someone always died. Usually, someone does die at one of these things.
Happy Foresty.
I
Yeah.
know.
Boy,
It's
that's
a bummer,
morbid,
but it does
dude.
have. Well, especially with the heat that time. But I mean, dude, you get especially that you get heat, massive heat, and then drug use.
But they're usually nobodies. We don't hear about them because they're not sons of Hollywood
right.
executives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now there must be.
And that's acceptable to you that people are just dropping dead at your events?
I didn't say it was acceptable. I just said it's
Kind of
not.
did.
That it just doesn't.
It's the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
You get people
27-year-old.
doing drugs, and you get heat, and you.
Oh, now you've declared him a druggie.
Gonna
Did you even know that,
disparage him?
E? Really?
Publicly
I'm not saying that
disparage this
he
young man?
is.
You didn't,
But
say
have-
alleged. Did you hear alleged?
I didn't.
I wasn't
I
talking
didn't
about
either.
him. I was talking about people at a festival. It's not alleged that people at this festival do drugs. That's not alleged. I've seen it plenty of times. So my point is, it's not shocking when someone dies at these. Usually, there's a death or two at this stuff.
So
Unfortunately.
you're suggesting that these people die because they're using drugs at a hot festival where they're not hydrating.
Possibly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now you're suggesting that this young man.
I don't know
who
how
we
he died.
lost-
I don't even. I was
those are
talking
the
about other
circumstances.
festivals.
Oh boy.
27-year-old has a heart attack at the festival. He's the son of
About a 27-year-old,
Rod
healthy
Lurie.
27-year-old.
So you are suggesting that this guy was a
I am
drug
now.
addict,
Now I am.
27-year-old.
Thank
I didn't
God
say
he's
drug
not
addict.
officially hired
You
here.
don't have to be a drug addict to die from drugs. You can do it one time.
Well, he died at a Muskegon hospital on Monday after attending the music festival. He passed away at Mercy Health Hospital after going into cardiac arrest while at the Electric Forest Festival. You didn't see him in cardiac arrest.
Not that I
did
know
you?
of.
You
No.
didn't walk by and laugh, did you?
Yeah, no.
could
For one, I would
totally see
never
that.
walk
Dude,
by.
check him out.
Dude, he's rolling on the ground. He
Get
keeps
up,
grabbing
you
his
pussy.
chest.
You pussy.
You wouldn't do that at the forest.
Happy
man.
Forest
You wouldn't
Dick
make fun
Lick.
of. You wouldn't do
Happy
that.
Forest Dick Lick.
That's not how it would go.
That dude's gonna miss Dead Mouse.
Yeah, he is.
That's what you guys would do. That's not what I would do at the forest.
Take
I
it
mean,
back, E. Take
I
that
do
back.
not take that back. I wouldn't do that at the forest.
What?
You
But
pick
he's going to
people
miss
up-
String Cheese Incident.
I know,
They're the
but you pick
headliner. He's
people
not
up
going to
if they're
see
down.
String Cheese Incident.
I know, but that's not what I would say.
Stop having an attack of your heart, Dick Lick. You're going to miss String Cheese Incident.
No marshmallow for you.
Who the hell is String Cheese Incident, by the way, E?
I don't know much about it. I just know that they're a band that's like kind of a jam band.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I thought this was EDM.
For one, no. Electric
They're
Forest
actually
is
playing
not.
instruments?
Electric Forest is not a full-on EDM.
I thought this was button pushing, E.
Electric Forest is not a full-on EDM festival.
Is that
You
right?
have
This
other.
is the headliner.
I understand, but I don't know the whole story, so I'm gonna sound like an idiot to people that do. But basically, the story of the Three Cheese Incident.
Oh, no, he
is
doesn't
that-
even know.
No, is that they
He
were
doesn't
they
know
were
the
there from the
story behind the
beginning. They were there
headlines.
from it was the Rothbury Music Festival originally, and there was like Dave Matthews was there, I think, at one point and stuff. And they were there originally, and I think the story goes is that then it became the Electric Forest, but there was this deal that to like sell the festival, the only thing that they threw in is that the three cheese or the String Cheese Incident has to be at every
You're saying
festival.
they're no good? You're saying they're just...
That's
they're-
not what I'm saying.
This is nepotism, essentially?
It's not
That's
what I'm
what it
saying
sounded
either.
like.
Yeah,
Wow.
you
Part of the
fucking
deal.
asshole.
Yeah, we'll
You're
sign
such a
with you.
fucking dick.
But you have to help our shit band out. String Cheese Incident.
Dude,
you have to bring
it's
them
so
along.
funny how many like dumb fucking things you like can say, and then I'm the retard. Like you just fucking
Well
hear
put.
one thing, and you. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. It just happened. I think it was grandfathered in. They're very good. In fact, they usually get very good turnouts. People usually pack. They're always on the main stage.
Grandfathered in via nepotism, according to E.
Nepotism is always a family. This has nothing to do with a family.
No talent at all.
Are they giving Rod Lurie too much credit for his Hollywood credentials?
You know,
I mean-
I didn't want to say it was a stretch, Mike,
Yeah.
but makes for a nice headline.
Do we know The Contender? Has everyone seen The Contender? Because I'm not terribly familiar with the movie.
I've heard of it, I think, but it
I've
just
heard of it
sounds like a
too.
movie title, right? Maybe
Yeah.
I haven't heard of it. Who's
Yeah.
in it, Jesus?
I
Bing
have
it.
no fucking. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Bing it, E.
The Contender, and then he did The Last Castle.
Wait, Contender, wasn't that the boxing movie with Russell Crowe?
It sounds like a boxing movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Am I imagining that? Russell Crowe?
2000. Is that?
who's it?
Oh, Jesus. No, that's not a boxing movie, nor is
Hold
it
on.
with Russell
Stop
Crowe.
moving it. Gary Oldman, Jeff Bridges.
Gary Oldman.
Yep. Joan Allen. Okay. And he did a movie that he put his son in, the one that died tragically,
Now that's nepotism.
called The Last Castle, which starred Robert Redford and James Gandolfini. Those are big names. I've never heard of that movie.
No.
What was
Not
it
at
called
all.
again?
The Last Castle.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
Sounds like a decent movie title. Should have been a hit. Just like The Contender. He's got the title going for him.
Hell of a title.
What is The Last
52
Castle about?
Rod-
Hold on,
52%.
hold on. Jay, tell me what The Last
Last
Castle
Castle.
is about. Between the two of us, we should be able to come up with a plot line.
Oh, who's in it again? Tell me again.
James Gandolfini and
Okay.
Bob Redford. Oh, and Rod Lurie's kid.
Oh, man. No, not Rod Lurie's kid. Didn't he
Rod
produce
Lurie's
it?
kid was in it as
Oh,
well.
really? The
yeah.
kid who died was in it?
Yeah, he
Oh,
occasionally
holy
appeared
shit.
in his father's films like 2001's The Last Castle.
I'll be goddamned.
I'm thinking this is a story, a classic tale of a world that's lost almost all their castles. Like,
Wrong.
they've
Wrong.
been torn down through the history of time. People are like, there's too much scariness.
Wrong.
There's vampiric activity in these
Fake news.
castles. We need to get rid of all the castles. And then there was one last castle.
Nope.
And Gandolfini, in a gay relationship with Robert Redford and Rod Lurie's young son, as a threesome of
Did
gay
you already
men.
read the IMDb on this?
Well, no, I didn't cheat, but that's what I think it's about.
I think
Go.
it's about a chess game.
Well, that's boring as shit. Who's going to make that movie besides Rod Lurie?
Dude, I don't know what it's about.
Did you see some? Just tell me it's about the final castle on the planet.
The Last Castle is a 2001 American action drama film directed by Rod Lurie.
Go to the plot. Lieutenant General Eugene Irvin, Bob Redford.
Brought to a maximum security military prison to begin a 10-year sentence for his decision in violation of a presidential order to send U.S. troops on a mission in, where is that? Burundi?
Yeah, I love that place.
Resulting in the death of 8 soldiers.
Including Colonel Winter, a.k.a. James Gandolfini. I was closer than you were.
Yeah.
As far as the plot goes.
How so?
Being the final castle on planet Earth was closer than it being about a chess game. So I win.
I guess.
Thank you, Isis. Hey, should we get to some email, Jay?
Before we do that. Ryan, would you like to join us? It's always been written as a 3-part.
I would.
Yeah.
And we're gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, Doug, Doug. See how that works, Isis? Did you hear that? The 3-part?
Magical. It was
I thought
magical.
the show was over
That's
already.
exciting.
Now's the
Isn't it a
time.
great feeling when you hit those notes? It
Now's
really
the
is.
time to contact Realtor Doug Steinert. It's summer. It's time to list your current home and to go looking for your dream home. Curbside appeal is at its peak and real estate is moving. Contact Douglas today, 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with and a great friend of the show. Call Douglas today, 248-765-1781.
Really quick. Chess game. What, like, the last castle.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not
like the
even...
rook is left, you know?
But yeah, but it's just
That's
like
all I could think of.
It's a generic piece. You know what I mean? Like,
what? The rook is a great piece, man.
Maybe it's a decent piece on a chessboard, but
Decent?
make a film
Don't-
about it?
Hold on.
You're going to get Bob Redford to star in your movie about a fucking rook?
Bag up.
It just doesn't make sense.
Do not disparage the rook.
What do you have? Horsehead guy?
Oh my God, the
You've
rook
got
is
castle guy. You've got the bitch with the crown on. You got the pussy queen, the king.
the rook is one of the top 3 pieces.
What are the tiny little guys that get their asses kicked right
Pawns,
away?
Mike.
Pawns. And then the next biggest pussies are what?
Knights are limited in that you're going up to over 1.
So is that the castle?
No, castle can go any distance, vertical or horizontal.
Can you win the game
the
with
castle, the rook?
Can you win the game with the castle guy?
Dude, you all the time are pinning kings with rooks on the other side of the fucking field, man.
So you stand by your thought that movie was about?
No, I
You
don't.
still okay?
No idea what the fucking movie was about, but I stand by it. The rook is a hugely important piece on
Okay.
a chessboard.
All right, fair enough.
Anonymous writes in concerning Leonard Tyburski. Well,
Oh, no.
hello, boys. Very happy to report that I am still relatively caught up on episodes within the calendar month. Was listening to Scripture number 1082 and jumped from my seat when you guys brought up Leonard Tyburski. I so remember this killing. Remember, this was it
Bull's,
came up
dad's
because
best friend.
Bull's dad's best friend was Leonard Tyburski, an admitted murderer.
Yeah, he killed his wife who was cheating with his daughter's boyfriend.
Correct.
Yeah.
And where did he put her?
In the freezer in the basement, in the
Chest freezer.
chest freezer, and she stayed there padlocked in there for how many years? 20 or something?
I
10?
don't think it was that long.
It was quite a while before the daughters finally went, "The fuck is in that padlocked chest?"
Yeah.
And then they found a popsicled mother, and he was like, "Yeah, that was me. Sorry about that."
Anonymous says, I so remember this as one of my high school buddies lived next door directly to the right of his house. I remember my friend describing that they moved wifey in the freezer and in the freezer out the door as one piece. So they kept her in the freezer.
Yeah.
Moved her out.
Well, I told you about that guy that was frozen, and it
Yeah.
took him 4 days to thaw him.
Thought I'm just sitting there.
So, and it's just like you would think a popsicle would be, dude. They're frozen in a position for 4 days,
Yeah.
and so they were like, "Fuck it, just bring her out in the fridge."
Anyhow, attaches a link to said individual if you want to try and get an eyewitness account and get answers to the important questions like what brand of freezer and was it avocado in color? And then he gives us a link to this dude. P.S. You never got this from me. Bye for now. B-U-I. Anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
John writes in concerning a TV movie car submission. Now, Isis, you're going to want to bing this. The Mad Max Road Warrior Interceptor.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure, but not positive, you guys didn't mention a certain movie car, says John. I had faith somebody else would email in, but lo and behold, it hasn't happened, so I thought I'd email in concerning the Mad Max Road Warrior Interceptor. The blower being operated by an electric switch is a farce, but as a kid, seeing that car on screen was the shit.
So is he talking Mad Max?
We're talking Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson Mad Max,
I-
not talking about the
got
one
it.
from a couple years ago.
I guess here.
Don't you
And then,
Dude, The thing about those movies, though, is there was such a feeling of speed.
Yeah.
Like, those things were filmed at high speeds.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Yeah, but you look at the new movie, and it's like those things are cranking through the desert, hauling balls.
Yeah.
And there's like this tank of a thing, and there's a guy on the front of it. You know, he's like, part of it is he's on the front of it and can kick ass. Like,
oh, you're all angry now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, John. No question
Laker
about
tickets. I had to give up my Laker tickets.
She'll blow me in 5 seconds.
Kurt writes in with some advice to Big E on how not to lose his wallet, keys, and other items. Gotten goat, bloat throat, charred scrote.
Fat jokes. Cool.
Hola, compadres. Big E, come
Don't
on,
need that at
man.
all.
First, you get a chain and put an extra car door key on it. Myself, it's a Harley key, and you wear it around your neck. Easus?
For what, the keys?
Yeah, for your car key.
I'm actually way better. The car keys I haven't lost in a long time. I've been good with the car keys.
Put the rest of your keys in the glove box, or get a hide a key and put it under the bumper.
Have that too.
Then take your license, non-essential credit cards out of your wallet. Also, those go into the glove box. Take any old library card or zoo membership as a form of ID. And dude, you're on your own with your phone. I don't know, get a burner. That way your essential shit is locked the fuck up in your Trumpmobile while you sway away till the beat drops. And seriously, you should go see Dark Star Orchestra Jubilee next spring. Learn from them, old deadheads. It's in Ohio, and you should enjoy yourself mightily. Buenos dias, amigos. Senor Kurt. Good advice,
Go
Kurt.
eat.
I think
He won't take it, but it is good advice.
the phone's the biggest thing. There needs to be like an OtterBox made with a hole through it, or we need to punch a hole through so that it can be connected to like a wallet chain situation.
I don't know why we can't. Like, we discussed this a week ago. We talked about super gluing it to E's stomach, and I don't know why that's a problem. He can still get the buttons. He can still unlock it. Like,
How is he gonna whack up like he's gonna move? I guess he could. He
he's
could
got
move
the
his
fat. He's
gut
got the mound
up, right?
now.
He
He's
could
got
just-
He's got his own ramp. It's almost a 45-degree
Yeah.
paunch. So if he super glues it to the top of the paunch,
Okay.
he can even look at it and unlock it. You know, because he's got the 10 that will do that.
Perfect. It's actually perfect for masturbation.
It's perfect. He can blow a load on himself on his chest. He doesn't even have to hit the screen. It's perfect.
Abel writes in concerning Mike's parking grievance. Now, this has gotten a lot of play on email.
I stand by this grievance. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
Mike's grievance in a nutshell is that a dude sat there for several minutes while Mike wanted to turn into his parking space.
Yeah.
The guy just sat there knowing Mike wanted in, but he just delayed until
I thought it was inconsiderate.
until
that's all.
such time as you actually did another round around the building and parked in back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dear gentlemen and imp, as far as moving fast for someone else, I believe that if someone can wait 2 extra minutes for someone just so they don't have to walk their fat ass 50 extra feet, then our society is doomed. Some people like to get organized before they take a death machine a few miles somewhere else. Not to mention checking, like making sure you have everything, phone, wallet, righty.
This is a
Exactly.
bullshit email. It's a fucking bullshit. I'll tell you why. Because that parking lot never has available spaces, and the ones that do when you go around the corner,
Yeah.
they all say like parking for yum yums only.
Yeah.
Parking for this
And you got the
dentist
stink
only.
eye when you went back to your car and Yum Yums only, right?
Yum Yums, the owner of Yum
Miss
Yums,
Yum Yum herself.
Mrs. Yum, was fuck. I could see it. She was like, oh no,
Seething.
he better come in the Yum Yums. He's not coming in, and I could see her waving her finger, and
Yeah.
thought she was going to come out the door. I squealed tires to get out of there. Mrs. Yum was after me. And so, no, it's waiting 2 minutes.
so then the thing is-
10 minutes. Shut up, Isis.
No.
Waiting 10 minutes. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. There's very limited spaces.
Well, then that's why your grievance is even less bona fide to me. 'Cause, okay, so for one specific parking lot that's a little weird, it kind of sucked. But for any other parking lot, you would be so unbona fide to be unreal. Just drive another 10 seconds.
Well putty. Old man pussy, says Abel.
Inconsiderate.
As for a better bona fide grievance of the situation, no need for the clock. How about the parking spaces that are one way? What if I want to go the other way? Now I got to go around in a circle to get out? Squares, gentlemen.
Bona fide as hell.
I don't need some obtuse angle to park my vehicle diagonal on. Plus, jerk-offs like to go the wrong way down these. We're not getting anywhere any faster when it comes to these sideways parking
It
spaces.
just says how selfish we all are.
I enjoy the show. Just started listening 6 months ago. Got caught up quick. Now listen every day. The characters and conquests of E get me through the boring part of my day. Just wish Eases could tell stories on the fly. He's like the kid who looked straight down to read in grade school and had to slurp up his spit every third word.
What a visual.
Anyway,
and
keep up
true.
the great work, Abel.
When someone says they got caught up on the fly after 6 months, did they listen to all 1,000 episodes in
Maybe.
6 months?
Maybe.
I want to know. That's
Could
what
you
I'm
do the math? Could you do that in 6 months,
Sure.
24 hours a day for 6 months?
Yes.
I expect an answer tomorrow. See if you
Okay.
could technically get through 1,000 episodes.
And we will save the rest for tomorrow.
Perfect. Ryan Fiorini, thank you so much for coming in, dude. It was a pleasure having you, our first soon-to-be billionaire listener.
And that's Dr.
it's-
Ryan Fiorini, please.
Doctor, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Dr. Fiorini. It's a pleasure to have you in here, my friend. And hopefully there's big, exciting things ahead for all of us, because once you become a billionaire, that really kind of cements our status and takes us to another level, too. So there's a lot of pressure on you now from this entire room, and it's a pleasure having you in here. Honestly, this is bad as shit, dude, and hopefully you have great success with it. For the rest of you, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.